show you how to do the matchbook, the little matchbook pocket that I did in my Top Hat Mini, this one here. So I'm going to show you how to make it. This wasn't my idea, I actually got it from Chris 416 Ward. She also does a tutorial on how to make it. Anyway, what you're going to need is, I'm using the paper stacks. These are the celebrated ones from Michaels that you guys can get. Cut these down to 3.5 inches. So you grab 4 of them and just cut the top off down to 3.5. We've got a 3.5 inch piece, okay? Then you need 8 pieces of pattern paper, and these are 8 by 2.5 by 3.5. These pieces, 2.5 by 3.5, and you need 8 pieces just to cover the sacks. And I've just got one more side to it here. Also, you are going to need some cardstock, and this one measures 2.5, 2 3/4 by 4, and this one another piece, and this one measures 2 3/4 by 8, and another piece of pattern paper, preferably double-sided, 2 3/4 by 12 inches, and a score pal, and like I said, your 1 inch cutter. And also I used the Martha Stewart tab punch for the tabs. Now I'm just going to go ahead and adhere this piece down. And just line it up. Stick that down, and then that's overlooked a bit, but I'll just trim that back. And then find the seam, the side that's got the seam, use your circle punch and just cut a little notch out of it. Just eyeball it, and there you go. Right, and where are you? I've got a 1 2 3 4, and I've got a little tag missing. Yep, there it is. Right, you need 4 tags, and these measure 2 1/4 by 4 3/4, and I've cut them down to 2 1/4 by 3.5, and I'll leave this end on. I just cut them off from the bottom. And ink the edges with black soot. And then I'm just going to adhere the tab down. Oops. Along the edge here. And be careful not to hit the back with it, which I've done in the past, and it doesn't ruin it, but just for a cleaner look. That's those done. Now what we need to do is some scoring. You need to grab your 8 inch piece of cardstock, and we need to score it every 1/2 inch all the way up to 4 inches. So starting at 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 4, and just fold on your score lines. Accordion fold it. Now what you're going to do is adhere the first little pocket to this first little groove here. Into this little valley here. You see that? What I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my ATG on the front and stick that, line it up, just eyeball it and centre it into that little, and then close it, squeeze it together. Then what you're going to need to do is stick a little bit of tape on the, oh no, actually I'll use the OTG, and stick another piece on the back of that and close, pinch those two pieces together. So you've got a little flap here. Let's see if I've got something so you can see the back of it. So you've got that. Squeeze those two together. Okay, the next one. This time, remembering to keep your little slot facing the front. This time we're gonna only put adhesive on the back side, down the bottom. And this time, line it up into the second valley. This one here, line it up in there. Stick it in there and make sure you're lined up with your front pocket. And then just squeeze. And you just carry on doing that for each one. Here we go. So far it looks like that. Okay. Right, next what we're going to do is adhere this 2 3/4 piece by 4 inches. And what we're going to do is adhere this to this little flap. The little flap in the front. Okay, but first we're going to adhere the flap down. We're going to close it. And you can just use your ATG for this. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to use the red line tape for this piece, and just stick some along the back, down the bottom, and what we're going to do is line this piece up with the front pocket here and the bottom of that piece there, and line it up, and that it's going to make your little book. And it'll open. Now this is the 2 3/4 by 12 inch. It's double sided. Have this side here. So what I'm going to do now is line that up and sort of decide how much of a gap you want here, how much of a flap you want, because you want this bit to fold over and tuck into there. And I might leave it and bring it up sort of a third of the way, and just pinch it together, pinch it there. And then fold this piece over, and you've got much more than what you actually need. You just trim it, and do the same thing again. Pinch the top so it flattens out. Sort of get your score so you can get your little line so you can score it. And what I'll do is get the score pal out again and just get those lines a bit, those scores a bit crisper. And it looks like the ones I've done are 1/2 inch apart. And by the looks of it, this one here I'm going to do 3/8 apart. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, about 3/8 apart for the top. And just fold these score lines just to get them nice and crisp. Okay, so what we've just done is folded those pieces over and used your bone folder and strengthened scored the edges. Now what you're going to do is put this back in here, cover that over, and then decide how much you want to cut off. So I'm going to cut it to about there. Just mark that with a pencil, because knowing me, I'll do way too much. And I'll just quickly trim this piece off. And okay, right, now what we're going to do is put it together. Now you need to put something, some sticky strip here. I'd advise to use sticky strip because I mean, even the ATG is strong, but the sticky strip is about as strong as you can get for one of these, and you need something strong here. So I'm just going to lay some of that down. And then pull that, close it up a bit, and then just line these up. Okay, so we've got that so far. Now what we're going to do is stick adhesive. You can use your ATG for this, just along this back panel. And a little bit along the top, just for safety. Okay guys, we just pinch this together and line those edges up. And there you go. You've made a little matchbook. It just folds out like that. Well, I hope that was easy enough to follow, and if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm really pleased and really thankful for all the massive comments I've been getting about the mini, and I really appreciate it. Okay guys, take it easy, take care, and till the next vid, we'll see you later. Bye.